Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th edition of the Elitist Gaming Podcast. I will be your host for tonight, as always, NoLimitsNick, and today I'm joined by a lovely company of 3 people, and today we're going to change it up a bit. Normally we talk on these podcasts about like genres and our esports potential, but today we're going to be doing sort of kind of like a game review.
Meme review.
There will be memes involved because about a week ago, Destiny released its...
About a week ago.
Destiny released its Season of the Drifter pack, involving all new Gambit activities, all new horde activities, a crap ton of lore, new exotics, new quests, and we're going to dive on in and kind of explain our initial impressions of it, where we see the game going into Season of Opulence. And other than that, I will introduce our lovely cast for today. Today, I am joined by none other than Mr. Heroic, who is streaming right now on his Twitch page.
Hello.
That's
yes, I am back again. It's not heroic, by the way.
I'm joined by Mr. Alpha, who is going to be displaying his dominance in the background in the Crucible.
Hello. Yes. Thank you.
I'm joined by...
Is that you clacking your keyboard?
Yes, he is.
I'm next joined by Double Redux, who is posting memes all over my Discord right now.
Yep,
You
basically.
love him, know it.
And finally, last but not least...
These can be your background images.
Last but not least, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Fluffy.
Dab.
Okay.
Couldn't see it, but I was dabbing there.
I have no doubt that you were. That's what bothers me.
I'm proud of anyone who expressed their memes and dabs.
Oh no.
Feels bad, man.
Don't let your memes be memes.
Shia LaBeouf. Anyway,
All
so
right.
gentlemen, all of us have clearly been balls deep into this new season.
Hey there.
We have been very heavily
We've been
invested.
playing the expansion.
Yeah, we've been heavily invested in it. How are you guys feeling about it so far? How are you guys feeling? I know we've had...
I'm having a good.
Pretty spicy.
Fun.
Yeah, same.
It's fun. I think people who are complaining don't really understand what the point of Destiny is.
Yeah.
What are some of the
every
complaints you've been hearing?
People
I
are
haven't heard
complaining that they
complaints.
don't want to grind through the same stuff to get to 700 light. And I'm just like, we literally got 2 new game modes for you to play. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And private matches.
And private matches.
And
so-
private matches for Gambit.
Isn't that content? Aren't they like complaining about content, which they complain about not having? So
They're
Yeah,
complaining
exactly
that
what happened.
some of that content involves the old stuff, which I just don't understand. But
That's kind of what Destiny is. It's a grinding game.
As does like
It's
most
a looter.
MMOs.
Yeah, like it's the same argument we had with whoever that one guy is that one time. Like, if you don't like the game, like it's not because there's something wrong with the game. It's just that you don't like that kind of
Game.
gameplay.
necessarily, yeah.
Like,
Anyway,
always-
So, to
I've
explain,
been, I've been liking it a bit. It's done a lot of stuff right with adding armor sets that look nice and adding a new game mode. And what else has it done? A lot of the story stuff has been really good. So
oh
that's good.
yes. Speaking of story stuff, we will not be delving too deep into that because of spoilers, and several people on cast today have not seen them. But
We're getting there. We're getting there.
yeah, you're getting there. Some of them are completing the Thorn Bounty, a long-desired D1 exotic has finally returned.
woohoo!
But
The enthusiasm is incredible.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
But so let me explain to the audience what Gambit Prime is. The hot new game mode that Bungie has released.
Put in Bungie's Gambit Prime trailer.
I will. So
That's copyright problems.
what is
No,
Gambit
it's not like
Prime?
we're making money off this.
Gambit Prime is basically how should I say this? A
Gambit Prime.
sweatier version of Gambit. That's what
Oh
they
my
describe it
God.
as.
I wouldn't call it sweatier. I just think it's just a little bit better designed.
Yeah, so basically,
Or-
I agree.
yeah, we have reduced it from 3 rounds or potentially 3 rounds to just one singular round. There's a lot more mobs, need a lot more moats, and the kicker to it is that there are now sets to it. There's a set of gear that you can get that has perks to Gambit that kind of acts as roles. So there's 4 of them. Reaper, which it means you're going to be killing ads. Collector means you're the moat collector. Sentry means you deal with the invaders and the blockers. And finally, the classic invader set. So what have you guys been playing the most as?
Well, I'm still working on getting the sets. I've been enjoying Sentry on Hunter and Collector, or not Collector, Reaper on Warlock. The level 1 Reaper talent's really good with the marking of high value targets and powerful enemies so that they die faster. Collector and Invader, you really need like the full 5-piece set for their big perks, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other sets have been fun in the meantime.
I will say this, I actually did some digging the other day. I actually discovered what the max perk was for the collector set. Basically, you can collect 20 motes, and when you deposit it, you summon a phalanx.
Yeah, it's a big phalanx.
It's a big phalanx that tethers people. So for those players who have played like
it's the Lake of Shadows boss.
Yeah, the Lake of Shadows boss or the Malfeasance quest boss in that strike. It's that guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sucks,
Yeah,
especially when you're playing against the people getting that triumph and they summon 4 of them at once.
Can you actually do that without 4 collector sets?
No, you need 4 collector sets.
Oh!
Well, you need
Why
4
ruin my
collector
dreams?
sets. But
Yeah,
when
so-
there's a triumph for depositing 4 of those at once, kind of like that one from
The ogres.
Space Gambit with the ogres. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's funny. I would love to see people's faces like, oh my god! There's 4 of them!
Because now you need 80 instead of what was it before?
60, excuse me, 60.
Yeah, so you need a full person's worth more of motes. Oh yeah, speaking of, I just got a giant one summoned on me. And giant ones are enough to start training motes on their own. They don't need a second.
Yeah.
Oof. I did not know that.
Holy fuck, that's how it goes far.
So that's Gambit Prime. The second thing I want to
I'm
introduce.
currently working on the Sentry set for Gambit Prime.
Yeah, I want that too because of the final perk, because it maxes out your character stats when you're standing on the well.
Invader, dude. Get that Invader set, boy.
Yeah, Alpha, the resident PvP god, is always invading. I will say this, Alpha. It's not get sidetracked on, but I've been running into a lot of people with your freaking name.
Yeah, we played against someone.
Alphas.
We played against someone who had exactly the same name in a Gambit match, and we just constantly invaded and killed him. You were there, Alpha.
Oh yeah,
the doppelganger. I think I was there too.
Yeah, we fucked him up.
Singled him out, dude. You can't have my name.
There's one
I should
actually.
put your boy in front of it.
Mr.
Okay.
Doppel-
Nah,
Well,
keep
okay,
it.
so for most people, we should probably elaborate what Gambit Prime actually changes from regular Gambit, since I doubt they know. God, fucking another one already?
So basically, the difference
Welcome to
between
Gambit Prime, folks.
Gambit Prime, is that, like I said, it's 1 round. You have to deposit 100 motes
Instead
And-
of 75.
instead of 75, and it's on a weekly map. So for those of you who played a lot of Trials back in Year 1 or Destiny 1, think to that. Instead of a weekend-long map, it's a week-long map.
Fucking
It's also
team.
the invades are still in 25 increments, so there's now 3 invades that come up during the course of depositing motes. And also, when you're actually killing the primeval is completely immune at first until you go and kill usually it's some wizards.
3 envoys.
Oh my god, a
envoys.
3rd fucking giant monster. Jesus.
So you have to go kill 3 envoys before a well opens up that you can stand in the well, and then the shield goes down on the primeval that you can actually hit them.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I actually enjoy about, because it adds like a layer of mechanics to it, like an extra layer of setup.
It reminds me of honestly stuff like raid bosses or current larger boss fights where everyone's sits in a well, like Shirochi, for example. The first Shirochi.
Yeah,
Is it Shirochi?
Shirochi, the one with the
everyone
crystals.
sits in the well together, and it's all a matter of coordination, kind of team fire.
The one that actually surprised me the most, because basically they're just standard mobs, just bigger and badder. There's actually one called they're called what is it?
Deceive. The likeness of Oryx.
Yeah,
the
Deceive.
likeness of Noctis.
Yeah, Nokris. So like, there's like deceived likeness of Nokris, and basically it's just like a taken version of Nokris from his strike, Strange Terrain. But
You've done the Reckoning this week, right? Now.
I have. I'll get into that. I was like doing it with Fluffy when I was explaining it to him. But with Nokris, he instead of summoning like Shadow Thrall, like a standard taking wizard would do, he summons taken Cabal Hounds that charge you.
Yeah.
So that was a
Cool.
nice change of pace. But yes, as Double mentioned, there's another game mode called Reckoning, which is like their kind of Destiny's version of either Horde mode or Firefight, depending on what you want to call it.
Well, EP was kind of the horde mode. So
Yeah.
I'd say this is more of what would the second one say?
Firefight.
Firefight, yeah.
Yeah, so basically there's 3 tiers of Reckoning, where you have 1, 2, and 3. 1 is just like you're in this one room, and you just kill a bunch of mobs, and a boss spawns, and you kill it. That's it. And
It's still difficult if you don't have some level of coordination, though.
Yeah, it is. Like, you can't just, like, die, sprinkle on in, die again. You do need to, like, run around a bit. And there are modifiers as well. So if it's, like, Glass Day, you're going to have a really rough time.
Mm-hmm.
But what's cool about it is that that's like Reckoning is where you farm your Gambit Prime gear at. So like you do Gambit Prime, go to Drifter, he tells you to go do Reckoning then, and then you get loot from there, and you.
The way you specify what kind of loot you get from the Reckoning is through items that are dropped in Gambit Prime.
Yeah, there's these synth things that you get for doing specific things in Gambit Prime or for completing
You can
bounties.
create one of 4 different kinds of moats, one for each type of set, and then you deposit that said moat at the beginning of Reckoning, and it's considered a gamble. It's like you would bet that moat on you winning, and then if you win, you get the gear as a reward.
Yep.
I mean, you get the moat back if you lose, but
I think after like
Yeah, you
3
get the moat back.
tries, you'll lose it.
Oh, okay.
do you? I
Yeah.
never lost them.
I failed it like multiple times in a row, and eventually just like, all right, we take your moat back. I did it a lot when Tier 2 came out, and we were all struggling to figure it out. But yeah, speaking of tiers, there's actually, like I said, there's other tiers. In Tier 2, it's basically the same thing as Tier 1, minus the boss spawning. Once you kill a bunch of ads, a new room will open up, and you have to sort of stand on a broken bridge and construct each platform while being invaded by just a crap ton of Shadow Thrall and a bunch of like high value Taken and snipers on the side. And
you kind of have to coordinate doing it too, because like you kind of like need a hunter with like tether, like a well radiance warlock, and like
There's actually a triumph for doing the Tier 3 Bridge of Folly without using a single super.
that sounds really hard
I don't want to do that.
because
Terrible.
because the death is like really punishing in Reckoning. Like if you die on the bridge, like if your full team wipes, it's game over at that point.
Yeah, because it takes 20 seconds to respawn, but like
You have
the
like 30
bridge only lasts
seconds.
for like 30 seconds, and it doesn't like pause while you're fucking casting it. So it's a bit rough, but it's fun. And then actually, I don't know if you've played Tier 2 this week, Nick, but
I
Tier
have.
2 actually is also the
Tier 3.
yeah, Tier 2 is the same as Tier 3, it seems.
But there's a secret boss at the end of it. So normally in Tier
Yeah.
2, when you complete the bridge, you get teleported to a portal room. It's a very dark, scary room with 4 corners.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, Nick, is that's no longer the
I know
encounter
that.
now.
Let me finish.
All right.
So like I said, you get teleported to a dark, scary room, 4 corners, 2 knights spawn, and you gotta kill a hermit Taken. He's a big glowing light dude. And then he creates like a Gambit Prime well you stand in, and you just do a ton of damage to these knights. After that, game over. This weekend, surprisingly, instead of the knights, you are launched to a giant arena across the bridge, and you fight a a likeness of orcs. So for those who played Taken King, and you remember those shadow versions of orcs you fought a lot during the campaign, those are back.
Yeah. We were actually really shocked because like we were doing Tier 2 Reckoning. It was like, I mean, it was, like I didn't haven't done 2-2 Reckoning before. It's like, okay, we're going to teleport this place. It's going to be kind of hard. I was like, wait a second. This is the portal. We're jumping over here. Wait, is that Oryx?
Yeah, no, I was so shocked. I fully explained it to you, Fluffy, and we were just like,
Whoa, I'm not.
oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, no, I was like going nuts because I was so excited. The only thing I wish he had was a sword, like from the King's Fall raid, and he would just like occasionally just slam it down on you to bring that moment of panic back. It's like, oh, he's coming in! He's coming in! He's gonna kill me!
Yikes.
Yikes! That's the police in the background.
There's a siren.
That's the sound of the police.
The Destiny
something
cops
like
are
that.
after you.
But why, though? I've done nothing wrong.
Did you do the loot
I
cave?
swear.
I swear, officer,
Oh.
I swear, I did not cheese this boss.
I
I
did
did not
hit
have
her.
sexual relations with that woman.
I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, you guys are horrible. Anyway, so you guys have done all Reckoning, right? You guys done at least
Yeah,
tier.
I've only done tier 1, but
Okay, so you guys like it?
yeah. I think it's fun as long as I
Yeah.
have a team of people I know to work with.
I mean, I've done it at random. It's not that bad.
I was really low light when I first did it, so it was kind of sucky unless I had someone to coordinate with.
It's like, I don't know. I kind of like it, but it honestly feels like if you don't have a well with the chess piece exotic, that it's like basically
I
impossible.
mean,
Like I've done
me
it
and
only.
Nick did it fine without the guy with the
Yeah, I
well.
did it like once or twice without it, but like, you know,
It is significantly harder to like have a source of healing, or at least a source of tether. Like you need that
I
suppression
think
in
a
there.
tether is more mandatory than a.
No, I've done it way more without a tether. I think it's really just the well because the healing you get from it is so crucial. It's insane.
Well, I also say like it depends on like what special taken mob you get, because if you get something like a phalanx, for example, you're gonna have a rougher time than you did with like say like maybe an ogre.
Yeah, Phalanx is just boop you, and it's annoying as fuck.
Like the
Don't
well,
excuse my language.
the well is definitely really good if you have a knight, because he'll just be spitting hot fire at you the whole time, and there's three
The
of them.
mixtape.
Yeah.
Super hot fire.
What is that? The
Also,
raw sauce.
I really hate that the fucking synths that you use. Sorry for saying that so much, by the way. The synths that you use, you can only stack them up to 20. Because now I have like 3 stacks of invader synths because I haven't been making invader armor, and it's taking up way too much space in like consumables inventory. Like I don't know why they made the stacks so low on the synths. It's really annoying.
Well, I think it's just like they want to offer you the choice of like, all right, I want to use this one, or I want to use that one.
Well, no. My thing is, why did they make the stacks so the synths so low? So like, why can't I have 40 in the stack or something?
Mm.
I get what he's saying. It's just like
Yeah, because it makes it so like I have 2 full stacks of invader synths, and now I don't have any more slots in my inventory to hold other consumables. I'm having to delete stuff that like I might need later because
Why do you have so many?
What do you mean? I haven't been making invader armor. That's why.
You can
Like,
can't you just get rid of some of them?
I mean, well, they're consumables.
Why do you need to
so-
have that much?
Well, I don't need that much. Well, I mean, I do because you need to make 5 pieces of tier 3 on 3 characters, which is
All right,
45 motes or 45 cents. So it's just I don't know why they made the inventory size or the stack size so small for them. It's really inconvenient. When it could have been-
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, they could have made it much larger. So that's my like biggest complaint from Reckoning is just that's like really weird design choice, but otherwise it's been really nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Time to get into the nitty-gritty of this. Thorn. Who has it? Who does it?
I
I
have
have
it. It's a pretty fun weapon.
I'm working on it right now, actually.
I've used it in PvE and PvP. It is definitely a better PvE weapon than PvP.
I'm trying out in PvP so far. I haven't gotten too many kills with it, but I think it's a pretty good weapon. From
I
what
mean,
I've been
it's
using
not-
So far.
Bad in PvP, but it's basically a worse version of Ace of Spades. Because Ace of Spades, the whole point is that you get a damage buff on a kill, but with Ace of Spades, all you have to do is reload, while with Thorn, you have to run over the person, and in shotgun meta, it's not happening. And without the damage buff, it's just the 3-tap hand cannon, and that's not.
I mean, you
really
can 2-tap if they're under 6 resilience.
You need the damage.
And Ace of Spades 2-taps with Memento Mori. That's
what I'm saying. Ace of Spades is basically better than Thorn because
no, only when they're below 2 resilience. As for Thorn, it's only 6.
Well, no, I'm talking about the damage buff, not the. Yeah.
I think
basically it's not as good as it once was. If it was as good, like the top PvP, it's no longer the top PvP weapon. That's for sure.
Oh God, no! It is definitely not. I think it's kind of undersold, if you ask me.
It is now a PvE weapon, and I'm really glad for that because it's really fun in PvE.
I would argue it isn't. I played it for a bit. I did a Ascendant challenge with Fluffy, and we were just like rolling through mobs. I felt like pretty underwhelmed by it, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, try it out in Reckoning. It's really fun in Reckoning.
In my personal opinion, I think that there's just better PvE options than Thorn. I wouldn't go running around with it.
I think it's definitely worth using in PvE. It's pretty much the only place I would use it now. I wouldn't use it in PvP at all.
You don't really do much PvP though, do you?
I mean, I do. Like when I have to. I do the weeklies for it, and what was the other thing I did? I'm getting Luna's Howl and Redrix, and so I've been doing that, and I've been playing all the game modes recently to get my mastery triumphs, and I've been using stuff like sidearms. So I've been playing a lot more lately, and like I know what weapons are good and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Thorn just doesn't compete with Ace of Spades and Last Word.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: I had fun doing it. Fluffy and I had a good time doing the final strike for it.
I wouldn't say fun.
The first time we did. The first time we had fun.
Did you have to do it a second time?
Yeah, we had to help John out with it, and that was an adventure all on its own.
Double and I experienced that one.
Yeah, double. I am double.
Me, myself,
Hirokos and I did it, and it was fun.
It took us 2 hours.
It was fun.
It took us 2 hours, dude.
It took us 2 hours.
It was a bit excessive.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
I think Fluffy, we did both in under an hour in both times.
Yeah.
Well, with us, we had that one guy.
They had cheddar. They had cheddar too, though.
Yeah, that's him.
Did he get it?
Yeah, he got it. We got him.
Yeah,
we got him Thorn.
Okay. Nice.
We did several different comps. So I actually enjoyed it because we had to like take that fight really slowly. Basically, it was Savathun, and the giant fight like a giant fucking streaker, and basically what we had to do was I would golden gun it with Celestial Nighthawk and instantly push phase 1 out of.
That's what we had. That's what we ended up doing when Alpha joined us.
And Fluffy, the man he is, was invisible bro, so he had to do crystal stuff.
So yeah, anytime we had to get the orb and dunk it, I was literally like, okay, I have to do this because if I don't, like, he just shreds me. Like, and it's like almost impossible to do anything because like, all right, I have the big orb running up, and I'm dead.
Yep, because you take a significant amount of damage from all elemental sources, and you do not deal extra damage.
Yeah, so Thrall are like the most scary thing out there because
Thrall are terrifying. They will one shot you if you're anything below full health.
Yeah, no, they'll easily 2-shot you if you're not careful.
Easily.
Like, I've never been so terrified of Thrall since I first saw Cursed Thrall.
Yeah,
well, just punch your forehead.
Just punch
That's
it.
what John does. John just runs in and punches the cursed thralls, and they just
That's what
every
he kept
time.
doing.
Yeah.
And we kept telling him, John, you can't just run up and punch them, dude. Like,
And he's always like, "Well, that's what a titan is." I mean, I'm like, "You're right, but no."
You're right, and that's why no one likes Titans.
Hey, I take offense to that. It's a Titan.
hashtag hunters greater than titans.
It was meant to be offensive.
I'm
Warlock Master
offended.
Race.
Warlock Master Race.
Warlock Master Race.
Oh my god.
We all know it's true.
They've been.
I mean-
I'll say this. Warlocks have been very quiet in Destiny 2. They haven't had the hate as they had in Destiny 1.
Because they're not really, I would say, overpowered. Like, the only time I really saw a complaint when Nova Warp was extremely,
Yeah.
incredibly
Oh,
Nova
yeah.
Warp was
overpowered.
brutal, and then they nerfed it to shit.
It's useless in PvE now, which I was kind of disappointed with.
They just shut it down completely from my
Like,
perspective.
I was hoping just for a PvP nerf, which that's all it really needed.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing I don't get. It's like they have damage numbers separate for PvP and PvE. Why can't they just change it separately? It's the same thing with like Queen Strike and all that, you know.
Well, they
Breaker and Gambit is still good though.
Well, yeah. Gambit uses PvP damage numbers though, so like that's what I mean. It's like they can just change it based on that.
So why don't you guys think? I'm just curious because I haven't used the gun yet. But why would you say Thorn
I don't
is
think it's
top
bad.
tier?
I wouldn't call it top tier, but I
because
wouldn't call it bad.
the
personally.
last word has a much faster kill time than any weapon out there right now.
Luna's
And
Howl.
Ace of Spades basically does what Thorn is supposed to do, but better because
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
I think
yes,
no,
it does.
I think
Okay. So
different
you
weapons.
get a damage buff off of a kill. That's what both weapons do. Thorn, you have to run over the person, and then you get the damage buff from the little orb they leave behind. Ace of Spades, you just have to reload. And
Okay,
also,
from
Thorn's, what was it? It was 150, I think?
150 RPM.
RPM. Yeah. No, it's just it doesn't compete with the other hand cannons out there right now.
So from my point of view and what I know about the gun, Thorn is like definitely intended to be more of a like a team fight. Like it's not something you're gonna secure kills with on your own, like pretty much ever. It's meant to be like you doing poke damage is gonna give your team a large advantage in just overall damage when you are team fighting.
Yeah,
Which is
Yeah,
kind of
it's
what
like-
coordinated PvP is.
It's
I haven't.
like,
I want to try using it in a coordinated PvP situation before I ever make a judgment on its actual ability.
It's basically the same role a bow would fill now, in which you don't actually get kills with it; you assist in kills with it.
the one thing for me, Alpha, since as I've been a victim of both this Thorn and Destiny 1's Thorn, especially in its prime, the dot is significantly nerfed. Like,
Yeah, it does 2 damage tick over time and 7 with the buff. It's basically non-existent.
it still stacks
it's-
though. It still
No,
stacks.
it definitely does.
It still stacks, but I don't even consider it in
With
like
the
as part
damage
of the
buff,
gun.
can you 2-shot headshot?
Yes, you
Yes.
can. If they're under
That's-
6 resilience.
Yeah, I'll put it like in a category of A tier, but with the amount of hand cans we have in Destiny right now, I think there might be better options. It's still
Yeah,
a
the
good
last
one.
word is definitely better than it. 100%.
But the last word has a very higher skill cap than Thorn.
No, it doesn't.
It
Probably
does. It
It
really does. Like, you have to really control the recoil pattern on
No,
the last
you-
word.
you
As
can
for
just
Thorn, if you
fan
just
it out.
if you use like the Midnight Q, like I do a lot, it's really not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably use it. Like, it's not like I said, it's not a terrible choice, but it's not like what you
At
thought it
least
was doing in prime.
compared to how it plays in PvE, I think it's definitely a better PvE gun now. Because in PvE, it's really fun just because you get the damage buff so easily. You basically never have to reload. It 1 to 2 shots most of the smaller ads. So it's just a really good primary thing. It's like Crimson. With Crimson, how you never have to reload as long as you get a precision kill. It basically feels the same as that.
They actually incentivize doing PvE content with Thorn because, as you discover, Double, there's a lore book behind getting kills with it.
Yeah, you get. I don't know what the requirements are, if it's random or if it's after a certain number of kills, but there is a specific lore book section with 9 lore books that you get as you get kills with it. I only have 2 right now.
So I have to hunt that down as the resident lore nerd.
Is it like specific kills or is it just kills in general?
I think it just
Well,
kills
it
in
doesn't-
general.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might just be random, like you have like a small like point whatever % chance to get one after a kill, because like I can't find a pattern in it. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of it randomly gives you out as you use it, but it might be a specific number of kills. I'm not sure though.
Not like this. I just jumped off the map, and it was completely accidental.
Well, I will say this about Season of the Drifter. It actually brought up a very interesting point with, or actually issue I think is now becoming more prevalent as Destiny 2 goes on. there's a lot of hand cannons in the game. A lot of like.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, they can buff auto rifles totally.
To put it this way, there are only 2 exotic pulse rifles, 1 exotic sidearm, and 2 exotic what was the other one?
Auto rifles.
2 exotic submachine guns.
Mm.
And there's 5 exotic hand cannons, and they're like 4 of them are primaries, which is also really boring because like Sunshot's the only non-primary exotic hand cannon.
Well, also, is that all these hand cannons are really good in the PvP section, which everyone's gonna flock to super easily. And on the forums right now, and amongst the community, people are asking for another hand cannon to be brought back.
I totally disagree with that. There's way too many.
Well, which one are they trying to get to?
Hawk Moon.
brought back?
It's the one that
Dude,
has...
hell yeah! Fucking bring back Hawkman. I love that gun.
Fucking hell! All right, I
I
figured
mean,
that was gonna happen.
I'm sure it could be fun. It sounds like it'd be one of the better ones. It's just
Dude, it's
not with how many are in the game.
I agree, or at least there needs to be some buff to like scout rifles are at the point where they're pretty much like pointless to play in the game.
And they
because you're
buffed
never gonna
it
be-
like so many times too.
They're never going to be in a situation where the range that a scout rifle gives you is like actually useful.
yeah, comparable to other things.
Like you would either play a snipe or you're going to be in a close enough range that the hand cannon is just going to be better anyways.
I don't know if they buffed some auto rifle damage so that it could compare to like fucking Last Word, because Last Word
mean-
isn't far range.
Most auto rifles do have a high TTK. The only problem with it, okay, so think of how hand cannons and auto rifles work. Is that this game is very more peak oriented, where step out, you peek, you shoot, step out, peek, you shoot, step out, you peek, you shoot. Unlike most other games, like a hand cannon, you only need 3 shots in the head for most hand cannons to kill someone. On an auto rifle, you need at least 6 or 7. So if you're in a situation
Right.
where you're against a duel and it's a hand cannon v auto rifle, the hand cannon's gonna win like 9 times.
That's also why the last
Yeah,
word
there's
is
always
so
that,
good,
too.
'cause the last word has the fucking fire rate of an auto rifle, and because of that, it's completely like snuffed anything else out of Crucible, and it just makes it such a pain in the ass to
hand
play.
cannons, this is the story of Destiny. Like, this was the same thing in D1 where hand cannons were dominating, so it's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of impossible when you have this weapon type. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's probably like the most consistent PvP weapon in the franchise's history across both games.
Yeah.
I would say next to that is maybe pulse rifles.
Like Bungie does a really good job on buffing things, but I personally believe that hand cannons need to be like nerfed because I think they're definitely way too prevalent in this game.
It's really because they reduced the time to kill, like across the board, and they reduced it a lot more for hand cannons than other weapons. And that's just like because in year 1, it wasn't hand cannons as much; it was more scout rifles and pulse rifles and things of that nature.
I thought it was more like auto rifles and SMGs for year 1.
No, I saw there were a lot of scout rifles. Maybe like later in year 1, but early year 1, there's a lot of scout rifles and pulse rifles, and then Graviton Lance at the end. It was a lot more. Like, those weapons were usable at the very least, and it wasn't just hand cannon, shotgun running everywhere, doing whatever.
The first
There
major
were less apes.
the
Yes.
first major meta was Mina multi-tool.
Yeah, Mida was
Yeah.
really good for a long time, and then I forget what changed that.
They did something.
Legend of Acreus was huge too.
Oh yeah, and swords. Swords were actually in the meta.
Oh yeah, swords were really good for a while.
Like if you had the
Well, it's
Leviathan
because
sword,
like there was not you couldn't the main reason was because there wasn't this ridiculous quick time to kill, and you could actually get in with swords close enough to hit them. Now, if you pick up a sword, you aren't hitting anyone because they just one-shot you the second.
I actually have a story about a sword.
What'd
So
you do?
one time I was playing Crucible and I went to get power ammo and I had a sword, not realizing I did. 2 people were rushing me and I got a double kill.
Yeah, like you
because
definitely still get kills with them. It's
Because it was
just
the Black Armory sword, and then I had surrounded with the surrounded spec, so they were just gonna die instantly, like regardless.
get over here. Did you do your scorpion voice?
No, it was like they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill this guy getting power ammo." Jokes on you, got a motherfucking sword.
I got an S word.
But yeah, it's just the time to kill really restricts the choice of weapons because
I think that for a slower play style, you can have a more broader range, but I see what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, and it's the energy weapons that really caused all this. Starting, like, I know it's people like it and all, but starting with energy ammo, it just is created this such fast pace. One shot meta. Like, what you do when you respawn in Crucible? Oh, you take out your shotgun and you go try to find the nearest person to one shot. Like, that's just what you do now.
Easiest way is just ape gameplay. They actually really just don't think. They just kind of just rush in and just
That's
shoot
why
someone.
they're referred to as apes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, with
it's
last
really-
word, you kind of opened up the sniper route now, because now you got some last,
Last
word.
word snipe, yeah.
Yep.
But the thing is, I just don't want to use the last
The
word
last
every
word,
game just
honestly-
to shut down one guy. Just
The
to shut
last
down all
word
these
honestly
guys. Like,
feels like it's just a it's a new type of shotgun. It's I know that sounds dumb, but like it doesn't feel like, oh, it's this meta changing weapon where it'll stop the shotgun rust. It just feels like more of the same. Like the people who are using shotguns are now just using last word rather than stopping the use of shotguns. Anyway,
I honestly like the ace shotgun combo. Like that's what I like playing.
we should
That's
probably
like
focus
everyone.
more on Season the Drifter. That's what.
but yeah,
Yeah.
kind of drifted off a little
I
bit.
mean, it's all prevalent to what we're going on
Well,
right now.
I mean, a little bit.
So
We kind of got off this from Thorn, which I mean,
Yeah.
the Thorn quest is fun. I thought it was going to be part of the Allegiance quest, but it's just a separate thing.
Everyone thought it was, and then it turns out that it wasn't, and so everyone's like,
I
wait.
mean, the Allegiance quest gives you a hint where you're supposed to look for it, but it's the internet. You can just look it
I
up.
still haven't even done the Allegiance quest. I don't even know what that entails.
I
I'm doing that right now.
basically,
Technically.
as someone who did it, I sided with the Vanguard. I know most people are siding with Drifter.
If you have multiple characters, just side one with Vanguard and side one with the Drifter.
Yeah.
My main is going to be with Drifter, and then I'm going to have at least one of mine other ones on Vanguard.
The
Yeah.
only major thing it does, as someone who sided with the Vanguard, is that in Gambit, Drifter will start calling you Snitch instead of like brother or sister. He'll be like,
Yeah,
watch
okay,
your
so the thing
back,
you get,
Snitch.
from the from the Vanguard route, you get access to the complete lore books of the Warlock Honor thing. You don't get access to that if you side with the Drifter. If you side with the Drifter, at the end of the quest, he gives you a box with a weapon in it and 4 synths, one of each type. So it's like, do you want material rewards or do you want the lore things? And once you have the lore things, whatever.
Lore.
And then also they said
You're
that
Lornard, that's for you.
they said that when choosing that this decision might affect future content. So they'll probably do something with it in the future. Well, based on what you choose, you get
Yeah.
like new outcomes.
Well, as someone who has has done the Vanguard side, I almost like in actual weird twist of fate. I actually kind of regret siding with the Vanguard because the character,
Yeah,
the Warlock.
Snitch.
Yeah, thanks. But the Warlock who we talked to,
Flying Spike.
Honor, she's crazy, like
A little bit.
outright crazy. I'm like,
You read the lore books,
somehow
right?
crazier than the Drifter.
yes, somehow crazier than a Drifter. I won't go into the
I
story.
wouldn't call the Drifter crazy. I'd call him more Drifter.
I would call him. He's more
You right?
he's a tactician.
Something.
Like he
You
knows what he's
read the
playing.
lore books at the that you got as you got them, right, Nick?
I did not actually. I'm actually reading them in
Okay,
chunks.
well, you should, because the lore books are. If you don't read the lore books while doing the Vanguard side, you're going to lose out on a lot of the story, because basically a lot of it is Honor directly talking to you and
Yeah.
telling you, "Oh, you should go do this." The last 3 you get are like a side story side stories about her, like other stuff she did. But yeah, no, she at the end of the last lore book, she's like, she's like, okay, this investigation's concluded. Drifter's not evil or whatever. He's just kind of pathetic, and that's like her.
That's so dumb.
He's not evil, he's just pathetic. What does that even mean?
I mean, so you listen. I mean, you'll see as you do the thing, but basically, you go through similar steps on both sides, and at the end, you both listen to a series of tapes that the Drifter intends to give to the person who sided with the Drifter, but you hear them as the Vanguard too.
Yeah.
And Honor, you send them all to Honor, and hold on, I'm gonna find the lore book.
Well, like here's
You
the
send
thing.
them all to Honor, and she says, "This is the end of our investigation. Those tapes you found contain the scraps of truth, and it's just not what we wanted, and he's just kind of pathetic, not actually evil. Basically, she realizes that he's not trying to like usurp the Vanguard and start all this, dank shit, and he's kind of just,
Thanks, hero.
He's a man who believes that humanity's already died and is kind of just trying to carve out his own place for everything.
Which he kind of does. Like, he kind of gets like very like depressing at times, but it's like I understand where he's coming from, and if I can,
he's a good old chap. He's not. What was one of the lines?
Well,
I'm trying to remember. It's about. Oh yeah. So the title Dredgen. Is this spoilers, Nick?
I wouldn't.
Probably.
Yeah, probably spoilers. Like for people who haven't completed the Allegiance quest.
Yeah, you guys should just go do it. Go side. Honestly, it goes by really quick. The only lengthy thing is that you have to bank 50 motes in Gambit. So you
that wasn't the lengthiest part. The lengthiest part was finding the freaking person you side with on the Vanguard.
Oh yeah, having to go to the freaking hangar. And
yeah, that was.
No, on the side of the Drifter, Nick, you don't have to do anything.
Oh, I know.
You go straight to Spider, and then that's
I know Spider's a douche in this expansion.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Spider's kind of always been a douche.
I paid him 50,000 glimmer to like keep his mouth shut and like not do anything with the Drifter, and he's like, "Yeah, I ratted you out." It's like,
I mean, yeah, he already sold this stuff off. Okay, so yeah, when you guys go through the Drifter side, go look at the Black Armory stuff, or not the Black Armory, the
Black Market.
Black Market stuff that's available in
so many Easter eggs and just teases from
fun.
Bungie.
Like really, guys, stop whatever you're doing and go do the Allegiance quest. It's really fun.
But I will say,
I'm stopping this podcast. I'm gonna go do that.
Go do it. Yeah.
Beep.
Dating.
But I will say this: there's actually one more piece of content we'll go over before we go into speculation of Season Opulence, and that is Xur. So
Oh yeah. Have you guys done the Invitation of the Nine yet?
They haven't. I have.
I have also.
Go do the Invitation of the Nine too. That's more lore and story, and you get a powerful gear from it.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You just gotta like do Lake of Shadows, and then kill some stuff in easy. It's not like a grind quest.
Not even just the EDC, literally anywhere.
Yeah, literally anywhere. It could be like we did on Leviathan, Fluffy. Like we went to Leviathan.
We went to Leviathan Underbelly to get one of the parts done.
But it was,
which is cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, like you get a very like major spoiler cutscene, and I will say this: we are dealing with the 9.
I mean, no shit.
Well, the whole okay.
But it's but this is like the most convoluted, like most secretive organization in all of Destiny.
One does not simply deal with the 9.
Oh god.
Yeah, you don't, and we've been trying.
That's not a thing.
Honestly, I don't kind of like this kind of lore because so with stuff like Cabal and Fallen, it's pretty basic surface level kind of lore. Like, I mean, it's not like basic surface level, but it's like realistic. It's more science. It's more science than science fiction. While stuff with like the Hive and the Awoken and the 9 is all kind of like really convoluted. Like, you have to basically put aside any pretense that you have about how things are naturally work, because they literally just break the laws of physics. Like, oh yeah, just whatever. And
the Hives are magical beings.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't like that lore as much as I'd like.
Killed a guy while I was blinded and couldn't see anything.
I basically,
the Hive is the best lore.
I'd rather have Fallen and Cabal lore than Hive and Taken lore.
Oh man.
Yeah, with this
I
9,
like the realistic stuff more.
With the 9, I'm just like, yes, finally, you're opening up this door that we've been begging you to open up.
Oh yeah, Nick, for the Dust lore books that I told you about, the 3 that you get in the Drifter ship, there's actually, you can get those during the Reckoning start, and there's actually 9 of them, and you get all of the collectibles through the Reckoning. You have to like pick them up off the floor.
Okay.
So go look up a guide for that.
Yeah, go.
The one of them you need to get during the swords encounter, which isn't available this week, but
you gotta like look for everything on this like white spotless ground. It's like, oh great.
Well, it looks like it's like a cream ceramic urn, so it's not hard to find.
Okay. All right.
Basically, it looks like the urns, except instead of black, they're like a more tannish cream.
Okay. All right. Final thing
we
before we end this podcast: Season of Opulence. So,
I'm
Daddy
so
Callus, thick boy,
so ready.
give me your cummies.
whoa, that's a beep right there.
That's a bleep.
Whoa!
Give me your fat cabal dick.
Another
What
major
is
beep.
this?
Why?
Daddy Callus.
What is this?
Okay, so for Season of Opulence, oh shit, I got it up.
Well,
For
okay,
Season of
Let's
Opulence,
just cut that part out, Nick.
we
no,
will.
If you do it, you will be doing a disservice to mankind. Okay, so Season of Opulence. We know there's going to be a raid. It'll probably be something involving the Leviathan again.
Callus.
A Callus. It's probably going to go more into continuation of the Year 1 raid stuff. So in the Year 1 raid stuff, it's all like Callus prepping us to be his shadow and whatever. So it'll probably actually go deeper into that in some way, I imagine.
I will say this. I think just one thing I hope they do. They make the Leviathan a place you can actually travel to that isn't the raids. And you'd be like,
I don't think they're going to make any more patrol zones.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Because they haven't made any since
They even said they're not like releasing content per se, like in terms of locations. They kind of talked. The developers kind of talked about that. I think.
oh,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
think
it's such a big ship, and
Well, I mean,
it
we already
really is.
explored most of it.
I mean, we've been in its mouth, and we've been to the top of the spire, so
And then there's the underbelly, and then there's the top of the ship area through the what do you call it? The Spire Stars.
Poop deck.
And then we've been in the kind of engine guts room with Eater of Worlds.
yeah, I already said all
So
that.
like, yeah, so we've been through like most of the interesting parts. Like, I don't know how much more they can put in there without it just being like, here's ship engine parts and stuff.
Well, so the only thing they could say about it, actually, let me bring up the map here. The one thing they mentioned about it was that they got inspiration from the Whisper quests, and they were like, well, what if we just made an entire DLC based on secrets?
Yeah,
So what?
that could be.
So it's definitely got a very catchy thing to it, but
Well, it depends if they do it right. There's a good kind of secret and there's a bad kind of secret, you know?
What do you mean? How so?
So, like, stuff like Niobe Labs is the bad kind of secret, where it's just this painful process that everyone's kind of waiting on one group to do so that
Yeah.
everyone else can enjoy the content.
I thought it was cool though.
I mean, it was cool, and then it got to the second day, and everyone was fed up with it.
Fair
So
enough.
there's a good way to do it, and I think from Niobe Labs they learned, not to do it the bad way. But there's definitely a bad way to do it, and so I imagine they're gonna try to avoid that the best they can.
So
we'll see.
we got the one thing they have on there from the original annual pass content is a new 6-player matchmade activity.
I wonder what that'll be. So is that it's not gonna be? Is that like a?
So a new, meaning I think that means it's not going to fall under Crucible or Gambit categories.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be like a new. It's like a raid alternative or something. I
and it's a-
imagine it's gonna be like, the Forges or the Blind Well or EP or something like that.
Something like that.
I hope that it's not what the community wants it to be, and that is LFR.
No,
Because
I
they-
mean, there's LFR is already in the game, so
It's
And-
looking for raid, correct?
Yeah, it's looking for
Yeah.
raid. So basically, if they did that, they would scrap like the what's that system called where you look for people? You have in Nightfalls and raids.
the guided games.
Guided games, yes. So
I mean,
hope,
that's basically LFR.
yeah, but people want like
They're not gonna put pure LFR in because
That's not
most
what
of
the point of raids are.
Also, most of the systems are very communication intensive, and they don't
Yeah.
want to have just 6 people. Who,
I don't think we should do
half of
comp. We were
which-
talking about this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. That like it's not what raids are. It's not what they're about.
And they don't want
about
6
having a
people.
team you communicate and figure things out with.
They don't want 6 people who, like, half of which might just not have a way to communicate, and then it's just really frustrating for everyone. And
I remember when I first tried to do Leviathan,
5
I
hours.
thought it was automatically queue, and then I just joined it. I was on my own. I was like, wait a second,
Oops.
and then I went and tried to kill something, and I just died.
Well, also it could be this, since they actually removed this feature. It could also be like a revamped. Actually, it's match made. Never mind. I was gonna say revamped prestige mode, but it's match made. So that's out of question.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something like Blind Well or EP or something.
Probably.
It's probably gonna be like Callus gives you a giant, Cabal dildo, and he asks you
Oh
to
my
go
God.
insert it in his anus.
Double.
And if you do it
Double.
well enough, you get a
We're
good
still,
prize.
we're still on a podcast here. Let's
I
calm down.
know. Let me dream. All right.
There's also
No, it's
two.
It's gonna be take the thingamajig, do the finger with it, and then you do it right, and Callus is like, "Ha ha, good job, clap clap, here's your thing."
Teleports you to the tower.
Basically,
There are
Yeah,
also two
it's gonna be
redacted
like-
things.
yeah, they're still being coy with what they're coming out with, so we'll see.
What could be on a Leviathan or that Sweeper bot could offer us?
When is Benedict gonna?
The-
Who let
that's-
Double in here?
When is Benedict gonna go all Ninja Samurai on us? There, just put that
I
in.
mean, because at the end of the Warmind camp,
Did he say anything?
like, I mean, not at the end, like at the start,
Well, here's the thing. Like
Yes.
at the end of Warmind,
it's like,
Callus had
Oh, go
us
ahead.
take care of the last of the power structure in the Red Legion. So that Val Kaur guy, he was like the only like major military figure.
They need to get rid of Red Legion mod. Like, I know they don't want to design new models, but just put the fucking the Royal Guard models in areas now instead of the Red Legion. Because I'm tired of seeing Red Legion everywhere.
I mean, you guys know, I kind of like break the story because we're kind of like friends with them and we've helped him so much. It's like, why would I kill people who have helped me so much?
Well, I mean, he has killed his servants like on a regular basis. I don't think he cares. I think he kind of likes it that we kill his servants because it's just kind of showing our dominance or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he does view himself as a living god,
Yeah,
but I'm
so
not.
I don't think he cares if we kill his. Like, I mean, literally, that's the whole point of the first raid is that we're killing all his things.
proving our worth to him.
Yeah,
And then we help him with his engine problem in the Eater of Worlds because a giant Vex got sucked into the mouth of the ship.
Like a giant Vex.
how
Yeah.
does that even happen?
How did that even happen? Well, I mean,
Don't question it, okay?
well, it was probably nestled away in the butt cracks of Nessus, and then it just got sucked in there.
But
you know?
that thing is like huge and like insane.
Well, Daddy Callus is huge. What do you?
keep in mind
No,
the
crazy.
keep in mind that ship is meant to eat planets.
Yeah, that is true.
Like that's why they call it, like Eater of Worlds.
Eater of.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ!
He's not making everything sexual. Jesus Christ.
Alpha, you also
sorry.
shouldn't have put us in
Cringe at this
comp
point.
while we were trying to talk about this, so we can't communicate
Hey,
stuff.
I'm sure whoever's listening will enjoy my commentary.
No,
My chat right now is very frustrated with you.
I'm sure they are.
Anyway, do you
Heroico
guys
chat, can you give me kisses?
have anything else you want to say before I wrap things up?
no, not really.
No, I mean Alpha. What the hell? But other than
What's
that,
that? I'm just playing some Charisma, dude. But
No,
no,
you threw us in
we're
comp.
not gonna play competitive when we can't communicate.
Well,
we're talking about.
it doesn't.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let them sort things out while I send you guys off. Thank you everyone so much for watching. There'll probably be an absurd amount of bleeps in this podcast beforehand, but hey, that's the way things go. Speaking of which, you can follow me on other social media sites like Twitter, Instagram, all at NoLimitsNick. You can follow me on Twitch, same place, NoLimitsNick. I will link everyone else's Twitch pages in the description below. You can go watch Alpha, you can go watch Fluffy, you can go watch Heroics anytime you want. They're all wonderful people. And until next week, I haven't decided when or what topic we're going to be talking about, but we're getting back into the sessions of things. Spring break's over, everyone's back from vacation, and we're all just having a great time playing some video games. So if you enjoyed this video, or enjoyed this podcast, excuse me, give it a like, share it with your friends, share it with your family, spread the word around. Lets me know you guys are enjoying this. If you want to add anything to the discussion, feel free to drop a comment below. If you're listening to me on SoundCloud, feel free to give me a follow. I post these around every week. And as always, guys, wherever you are around the world, have a wonderful day. All right, bye-bye.